This is Steve Piloff from George Mason University. I want to talk a minute about a concept that students sometimes wrestle with that's really important because it helps identify the proper number of periods to incorporate in our analysis because it captures the proper number of payments and cash flows that are being made in a particular situation. And so we want to focus on language. When we talk about payments being expected or taking place for a certain amount of time, the word for tells us the amount of time over which multiple payments will be made. If we're making monthly payments for a year, then for a year we'll be making payments every month. Or if we'll be making quarterly payments for 2 years, 4 is the 2 year period, and we'll be making periods every quarter. The word in, that gets used when we're talking about a single payment being made at a single point in time. So if we're going to be making a payment in 2 years, 2 years from now, or in 2 years from today, we will be making a payment at that point in time. It's a single payment. So those pieces of language are important when we have annuities, annuity due problems, and other similar cases because it tells us something about when payments take place. If we're told that payments are expected for a certain amount of time, how many payments are there? Then the number of payments is simply the number of periods within that amount of time. It doesn't matter when those payments start. So for example, monthly payments are made for 4 months. For 4 months, monthly payments, you know that there are going to be 4 payments. If they start right in 1 month, then the 4 payments would be in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and 4 months. If the payments start today, then the 4 payments would be today and then in 1, 2, and 3 months. If there were payments for 4 months starting in 7 years, in 7 years from now, you'd have your first, and then you'd have in 7 years and 1 month, 7 years and 2 months, 7 years and 3 months. So whenever you see for a certain amount of time, it doesn't matter when they start. Sometimes you're told when payments start and when they end. You're told the first payment is expected in a certain amount of time, and the last payment isn't expected in some greater amount of time. How do we get the number of payments in a case like this? My suggestion is to simply count. Put together a little timeline, notch out when they start and when they end, and count. So for example, monthly payments are made with the next payment in 1 month and the last payment in 4 months. If that's the case, there's 4 payments in 1, 2, and 3, and 4 months. If monthly payments are made with the next today and the last in 4 months, then there would be 5. There'd be one today, and then in 1, 2, and 3, and 4 months, so you get 5 payments. So again, remember, for captures an amount of time, in captures a point in time, and problems sometimes will tell you when they start and end, and then you just count. So another little guidance. When you're counting the number of cash flows, remember that cash flows takes place at discrete points in time. So if we have a timeline, each of those where there's notches is the point, and you count those. If you're counting the number of periods that cash flows grow, so you start with something and it grows the next period, the next period, the next period. Growth takes place from one point to another. So you've got some cash flow here, and then it'll grow once, twice, 3 times. You can count jumps. Same thing for compounding. I put some money in the bank here. I want to know how much I'll have here. It grows or compounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Discounting works the same way. You're counting jumps. You're just going backwards in time. So again, if I had some cash here and I want to know how much it'll be worth in the beginning, just discount back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, this reference may be helpful as far as when you count points and when you count jumps. And finally, unless you're told otherwise, in X periods is in X periods from today. So if we make our first investment in 5 years and our last investment in 8 years, It's in 8 years from it's in 8 years from today. It's in 5 years from today. It's not in 5 years from today and then in 8 years being 8 years later. In 5 years, in 8 years is in 8 years from today and in 5 years from today.